I did not expect to see these two teams in the lower bracket, but here we are. How excited are you for this one?
I'm really excited because you could swap any of these upper bracket, lower bracket teams, and they would make sense as a grand final. So every single series from now on is going to be insanely hyped. They could be the champions of the tournament. The strategies we see now could carry all the way to the end. So I am very excited to see what goes on in this game.
And the first time we've seen the Alchemist here at this main event, and to be honest, we did not have a lot of high hopes in this hero in some previous tournaments. The stats were not looking super great, but this is definitely a comfort pick for the side of Falcons. And I hope that they've done some experimenting, right? You know, with the API data being hidden, maybe they've cooked up something new. I'd like to see that and hope that that's the case. But an overall really good draft from BetBoom as well.
Yeah, I think we've seen a similar draft before, this Crystal Maiden Coddle combo. It's so much mana for your team, and then it's a sniper, and that's kind of strange. You know, usually you see the Storms, the Tinies, the Embers banned out or stolen by Falcons this time. I've got my eyes on the arrow. I think he is going to absolutely pop off. Shout out, this is me thonking. That's the emote right there. What's going to happen here? Beastmaster has so much mana. He's going to have so many stacks. He's going to throw his axes everywhere. He's going to farm up the Ags. And that's going to bring the tempo against the Alchemist. I don't know if he's going to have time to farm.
That's so cool your family's here. I got to just say, that's so sick. I'm happy they could make it.
Trying to embarrass me out there.
No, just trying to
embarrass myself right here.
Yeah, it's like trying to embarrass them. You know, that's probably more important. Crit bottom lane, taking a lot of damage, but we'll just TP back up towards the top side. So that's going to be a long walk back to the lane, though, now that I think about it. Like, he TP'd all the way home. I thought maybe he's TPing to a tower, but that will be a long time you're leaving the Tidehunter alone in the lane.
Yeah, fortunately, it is a Tidehunter who is one of the most stable offlaners, and he might actually benefit from this, because when you get to pick up a couple extra levels, right, you actually become even tankier, especially versus Wraith King, who, if you use the skeletons, it's a lot of little damage, which is exactly what Kraken Shell can protect you from, though you usually wait a couple levels to get it, like level 4. But we'll see if he wants to pick it early versus this Wraith King.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. I'm always curious to see what people want to do on the Tidehunter. Now, this one, we're not seeing the Kraken Swell. All right, that was an option we've seen some people opt for, but this game will... Oh, wait, is it Kraken Swell?
Yeah, this one's Kraken.
Oh, it is Kraken Swell.
Because he wants to protect himself from the boys.
You're right. Oh, and a little bit of a pause. Okay, hold up. Let me hear from Raleigh really quick. How are you guys feeling today? All right, I want to play a little game with you all. All right, on the count of 3, I want you to shout your favorite hero, okay? 1, 2, 3. All right, that's not bad. Can we get security to remove all of the people that said Shadow Shaman, please? That would be fantastic. Thank you.
Shadow Shaman's a great hero.
Who would you pick? Who do you want removed, Zach?
I don't know.
All right, we'll come back to that one later. Yeah, we'll come back. As we go back into the game here, mid lane is, of course, going to be Sniper versus Ember. A little bit of a rough lane for Ember Spirit. And one of the things I like to highlight, you know, both of these teams like to play around the mid lane, enable them. I think that's why we saw the early pick for the Ember Spirit of Quinn, which actually really nice pressure here with the chains, but we've seen him really pop off on these types of heroes before, especially when he has a good start and kind of just snowball the game away. Now, you don't really get that with a sniper, so I am curious how BetBoom plan to kind of build their momentum as we get into the mid game.
Yeah, we usually see the very mobile heroes who only need level 6 and suddenly can make plays, especially when you have the Crystal Maiden and the Coddle. Sniper, not really that type of hero. So maybe the goal is that he will shut down the Ember, because you were saying, you know, both teams want to do it. And if Ember just doesn't have a great game because he's having a rough time, then, you know, they can't play around it. And it's a stand-in effect. You know, you're the full team, so you're feeling a bit more comfortable. You could also rotate him around with a recall, right? Maybe we don't think of Sniper as a highly active hero, but if you're just being teleported around the map, then...
It's his short legs, really.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a giant sniper rifle. It's really tough to walk around.
Yeah, we'll see. I actually didn't really consider the fact that Coddle, you know, that's something that this team has had. Let's be real. This is the best Coddle team in the world. We've seen Save absolutely orchestrate games just like a master composer, putting everything on his back, carrying his team around everywhere they need to be. And we'll keep our eyes on that as we get further into the game, but I think you kind of have to pick and choose the poison playing against BetBoom. Like, do you want him to have the Ringmaster, the Coddle, even the Muerta is something that we've seen him play a ton, but this game it will be that Keeper of the Light, and he is insanely talented on it.
Yeah, I think he'll just end up choosing to go with the Beastmaster this game. Because there's nothing says it has to be the mid laner. You can play around whoever, and Beastmaster is such a fast-paced hero. Quinn doing all right for himself so far. He should hit level 6 at a decent time at this pace, and that's where he'll start to move around the map, because you do have to make space for this Alchemist. It's not found as much success lately. The idea is still there, but you know, we used to look at the net worth and see Alchemist 1,000, 2,000 ahead at 10 minutes, and now it's never really that different. I think he got nerfed too much and just never has as strong of a start. But
the map changes also hurt a lot.
Clearly, if you believe in yourself as a team, right, you're like, we're going to give him a good start. We're going to be fine. You can still go for the comfort picks like the Alchemist.
Okay, so Alk, I just was looking, I was like, he's not finding anything in this top lane. His net worth just more than doubled, so I'm guessing he cleared a stack behind the tower or something, because he was sitting at like 8 or 9 CS in the lane, so Snake King trying to salvage what is a pretty rough lane with the Caudal Beastmaster, the constant axe spam, the boars, stuff that you're just not great at dealing with. Like Ancient Apparition, not a super strong lane hero, but once we see that level 6 come out, that's when we're going to be seeing Falcons try to get a lot more active and finding these openings. You know, pointed out in the panel, you love to have these kind of stun heroes with the with the AA pairing, so that's why they go for something like an Alchemist here.
AA is also great at stacking. He did one right there off screen, so that's some of the farm that Alchemist is going to. If you aren't having the most fun in the lane, getting hit by Illuminate spams, which maybe Save's coming to steal some stacks. I mean, you can't steal them right now, but you'll set up. You know they're here.
He's just casually walking by like, oh, okay, I'm in vision, but what are they going to do? Bottom lane, Amar getting left alone quite a bit, which is kind of the Tidehunter experience, right? This is just kind of typical. And there's a lot of stacks being made in the triangles as well. So Falcons really prioritizing the jungle farm at the moment. When you have an Alchemist, you kind of have to. This is not a hero that, you know, can really be on even footing with the enemy team's carries. It needs to be ahead, and you need to snowball off of that advantage.
6-minute rune about to spawn. It looks like BetBoom is here first. I don't think Quinn's got a chance at getting this.
No, no way. Not without that remnant. So level 6, just a regen picked up here off the sniper.
It's not really that important for him, especially when he has a Caudal and Crystal Maiden on his team, but it's very annoying for Quinn to not have that rune, which is really good for any of the Spirit heroes.
Yeah, you know, we'll get his 6 remnant back to the base, refill that bottle. Overall, fairly like passive start to some of these lanes. Like, if you're the sniper team, you're kind of just hoping no one rotates into the mid lane on your sniper. But because Falcons is prioritizing the jungle so heavily, we're not seeing that kind of pressure being applied.
Yeah, I also don't think you could have done too much at the start. I mean, these are all tanky cores or long range, like in the case of Sniper, so he's just far back. But now that Quinn has level 6 and he doesn't have a rune, but I think he's ready to start moving around if he sees an opportunity. But then where do you go, right? Alchemist is happy to farm. The Tidehunter is happy to just do his own thing.
All right, I gotta ask if we can get the stack counters, because I am seeing stacks being made like an absurd amount. Like oh my god.
15 stacks. We are 7 minutes in. That's actually pretty crazy.
When you have heroes who can double stack so reliably, right, in the Muerta and the Ancient Apparition, like I just saw them double stack again in the jungle that Skitter's cleaning up right now. They've placed some early vision to try and stop this, and Miro is here on the Beastmaster, just threatening him, right? He's got Roar available, but doesn't really want to commit it. It's mostly just about slowing down this Alchemist at this point.
Yeah, fortunately, you do have heroes that can steal stacks. The trouble is having to go invade into the enemy's half of the map, and that's when the Ember might rotate in and suddenly you're outnumbered deep in enemy territory. Oh my goodness, so many stacks actually.
Dude, this is ridiculous.
All right, this is how you get your Alka really strong. Okay, he's struggling a little. He usually doesn't do this many stacks so early.
Salve, Lotus, Wand, you know, Skitter playing right at the edge, but he'll be fine. It's worth it, you know, he's investing in his future.
Snake King will get a lot of levels in the meantime. I mean, Ancient Apparition, ever since they put AoE damage on the Ice Vortex, he's not bad at holding the lanes, and we've seen how impactful Ice Blast can be. Several stuns on his team to set it up, so they could use that to get some of these kills on these high regen heroes like the Beastmaster with the Ags, the Illuminate spam when he's in his ultimate form. They'll have that online nice and early.
The Tidehunter is, like, Amar's being super efficient as well. This is not the first time we've seen him dragging this wave in the bottom side to a creep camp in the jungle to farm it up. And like you said, they're able to just kind of soak what XP they can get out of snaking as well on this Ancient Apparition. Overall, I think things are going okay for Falcons, but we are going to have to see them ramp up the pressure with these first items out of the Alchemist. Like the Radiance Blink timing is going to be essential. Maybe he goes BKB instead early. And then depending on what Quinn builds, like this is a team that's going to have to start bringing it to BetBoom soon. Topside. This might be our first blood. Blood grenade is out. Miro trying to close the gap. The slow is coming in from... Oh my god, still nothing that they can find. He just walks away.
There's actually a farming pact. No fighting until 10 minutes.
Yeah, little did I know. There was some all chat actually in the lobby. You know, they were saying, Miro, please go easy in lane. He said no mercy, but maybe finally we'll see a rotation from Quinn as well as GPK here to the top side. Now you do have Ravage. There's the roar. They want to get this off. Dead shot off the mark actually, and there it is. First blood into the Tidehunter as Katomi taking a ton of damage here from the Ember Spirit, but Pure, he's in deep on the backside, comes through that Twin Gate, looking to help set up for a follow-up. Snaking very low, one more auto attack should do it, and the boys will find the kill instead. So 2 dead on Falcons and a tier 1 tower now being threatened as well. Good rotation finally coming in from BetBoom.
Bringing everyone in to win the first fight of the game.
10 minutes,
Had to wait till 10 minutes for the first 2 kills.
Oh, the stacks on the Ancient camp. That actually hurts a lot.
Yeah, that's exactly why they wanted to bring so many heroes here. You get the tower, you get these Ancients. When you spend the time to stack, it's going to be good for your team.
You need to take
them.
them.
You need to take them. And if it gets stolen, you've invested all this time that now has benefited the enemy team. So that is a huge play from BetBoom. The Alchemist, like, this is kind of what I mean, right? Yeah, he's top net worth. 6,000, that's pretty good. There's a Beastmaster at 5,300. You know, I mean, it's not as big of a difference as we used to see in the past.
I'm always way more afraid of a farmed Beastmaster as we head into like mid, especially late game. Like this hero feels so dominant from then on if he has a really good start. And so we'll see if they can transition that, right? Like he's still got to get his Aghanim Scepter, still needs his Blink Dagger, BKB. Like he's still far away, but Miro, that Ags should be done at a pretty good time. He's about 1,100 gold away. Smoke up here though from Falcons in the mid lane. Gonna make a rotation maybe into that triangle. Finding Miro would be absolutely perfect, but
have Ice Blast.
They just need the chain set up. There's just too many creeps, and it hits the boars instead. That is an unlucky roll there for the side of Falcons, as Miro's just gonna walk back to the lane.
It's a great idea. They stole your stacks, maybe you can steal theirs, but yeah, like you said, when there's actually so many creeps, it's difficult to lane the chain.
Okay, there they get it. This time into the mid lane. Dead shot on the mark as well. Blood grenade, just everything to try and chip him down. The cold feet will not proc, so GPK with a tip, the TP home. He's going to be fine.
He's at the TP bottom.
Yeah, never mind. He does TP in bottom. They want to put the pressure here. Amar can't get out of this one. Has a Ravage, but does not want to commit it. And the Tidehunter will die for the second time. Huge play call from BetBoom once again.
I mean, you're not expecting that. You see the sniper, you know you didn't kill him, but he fell really low. You're not expecting another play to break out immediately bottom with that rotation. And then watch, this is Save bringing the sniper top. He was mid, he's bottom, he's top, all within a minute. This is the power of recall. They're looking for the Alchemist.
Yeah, they're not going to stop playing aggressive. They know they have to slow this hero down, and so far they're doing it, right? The Ember not having a great game from mid, that was kind of expected into this matchup. They're going to bring, I think, Crystal Maiden. Yeah, so they actually recall Crystal Maiden as well. They really want Quinn here in the mid lane. They're going to force it. He gets the Remnant, but he's going to go way too close. The Roar comes out, and BetBoom once again find their target. Beautiful map movements from them.
A really nice play to bait out the Sleight of Fist with the Sniper ult, and then you knew where his Remnant was, so they just go wait by it, make sure they land the Root and the Roar. Very straightforward kill for them. Falcons, they're waiting for the Radiance, which I think is done, and then the Blink is next. Once you have the Radiance, your farm speed goes up a lot, so probably in about another minute or two, he'll have the Blink. I think with that, you have to try to take a fight. We haven't really seen them be able to orchestrate a play. They've tried a little bit, but it hasn't found much success. You've got Ravage. When you have Radiance Blink, you need to find a fight. Alchemist is supposed to be an early game hero.
You know, it's supposed to, but that's been the problem with it. That's why we haven't really seen it picked a lot in this event, right? This hero is very feast or famine. If he doesn't completely snowball, it can feel very weak into someone like a Beastmaster or a Sniper who just, yeah, they may have like 3,000 to 4,000 less gold, but they just do way more with it.
Getting tickled. Ho ho, haha.
It never gets old. He's going to be building a typical Vlad's here on that Tidehunter bottom lane. Pure, they really want to force his ult. He's got the armlet, so that will get the reincarnation. He can level it here.
Can't really pressure the towers all too much on Falcons unless you win a huge fight, because otherwise the Caudal Illuminate spam, Shrapnel from far back, Axe spam, there's so many heroes that can slow down your tower push. So you're going to need to win a big fight around Ravage, which the timing might line up. Maybe you can bring a fight down here, take the tower, take the Tormentor all at once, a huge power play.
Yeah, I think
Blink is being delivered onto the Alchemist.
Okay. So we'll see if he gets active with the Blink and the Radiance, whether or not that'll happen, or if we're going to farm towards that BKB. We'll find out. But bottom lane, they are starting to bring some heroes. Typically, you would see in a Tidehunter lane, right? You can a lot of times feel pretty confident in sieging down the tower, and he got it fairly low, but those couple of fights, less so. Bottom lane, Ice Blast into the chains. They got themselves the kill onto Pure, forcing that ult earlier. It pays off big. So the Wraith King will be the first casualty here for BetBoom.
Which is a very convenient kill right in this bottom lane, like we were saying. So
15-minute Tormentor about to
set up
spawn.
for success now. And I think you just want to wait for the Beastmaster Blink. He's getting close, about 600 more.
This is a really nice timing, actually, from Falcons. Like, you can bring your Alchemist down here very quickly and take this. He actually TPs right now, so they are exactly doing that. They want to pressure this Tormentor. They want to take this gold off the map, build a further lead, and they have really good shards. If you get lucky, right? You don't want this to go to the Muerta, so we'll see how, what Gaben will bless them with this game, but BetBoom unable to contest, and crit. Hold up, buddy. Falling very low. He dies. That hurts, but they get the right shard. It goes to Snake King. You're very happy.
Necessary sacrifice for good luck.
Absolutely necessary.
Now the thing is, the Blink is coming to the Beastmaster. We've seen the kill that just happened. You need the Ice Blast to prevent any healing coming in. Miero is now set up. Just Blink, Roar, the Ancient Apparition. There's going to be a Ravage. You don't have the BKB yet, but it's not going to matter. Like, once you've roared, all the damage is coming out, and AA is a pretty squishy hero. I think he's going to die in that time, especially if the Ravage is delayed because he's not in the same position. Once AA is down, I don't know if you have the damage to easily get any kills, at least on the cores. Maybe pick out a support, a Crystal Maiden, just walking around, you just accidentally hit her, she dies.
Okay, I finally get to talk about something that just reoccurred to me. The Alchemist is something that was in the meta for so long, but Wraith King wasn't. But the matchup is really fun because if you see the boys, you get like 500 gold out of them.
Yeah.
Mid lane, there's going to be the Blink reveal out from Miero. He's going to pop that Kraken Shell, try and buy himself a little bit of time against the sniper. Deadshot connects, and Amar able to just walk it off, it seems. So he will be perfectly healthy, but GPK will finish off the tower here, thanks to Amplified Amateur and the rest of the team being present. And so, bottom lane, though, they do see the Alchemist. They're going to start TPing. No, they'll back away instead. Look for Roshan. You got a Beastmaster, right? You can get the Roshan already.
That's true. I also think you can attempt top, since you do have that recall. I see him bringing someone in. They have the Blink Roar. I think you can kill him in that one Roar. Oh, they actually start with Karaomi.
Yeah, Ice Blast off the mark, bottom lane, but top side. Let's see, yeah, they're not going to find anything either. Okay, both teams just trying to find their objectives. Yeah, but here we go. Here's the Roche attempt out from Miero, Beastmaster. Once you have the Ags, can very easily solo this, but with a little bit of help, goes much quicker.
Ice Blast still on cooldown. That's the main thing you're scared of when you do this, because you do fall a little bit low. But without Ice Blast, you should be fine.
All right, there we go. First Roche of the game into the hands of Beastmaster. He'll be very happy to hold that for the next few minutes, right? Next Blink initiation, maybe. Could backfire. You never know.
Yeah, I know it's a 2K lead for Falcons, but when you have an Alchemist and it's only 2K, I think you're actually a little bit behind there. So I'm still feeling a bit worried for them. I think you're going to have to find a series of good fights around Ice Blast, and Miero, it's been a slower paced game than I expected with the Keeper of the Light, but he has been consistently farming. He's now working on the BKB, and I think he is so scary once he finishes that trio of items. Blink, Ags, BKB. I think the fights become really difficult for Falcons after that.
I definitely agree with you. I think Quinn is the one who's been struggling the most. Like, a lot of the map is being absorbed by like this Tidehunter and this Alchemist, so he's kind of just been left to pick up the scraps in the mid lane for the most part. So I think once he gets to a couple like items that he can really play around, we'll probably see something like that. But bottom lane, another recall potential here, but there is a ward that's scouting this out. Instead, they will see Snake King. There's the roar, and this will be a very easy kill for the Beastmaster.
I mean, look how quickly AA died. So, like, imagine a Ravage comes out. Does it even matter? I think AA is still going to die, and you're going to lose so much damage at that point. So that might be a precursor of how some future fights are going to play out. That's certainly what Miero would like to find. If you can start with either the Ancient Apparition. Actually, I really feel like that's it. I'm looking at the other heroes. Ember's a good pick usually, but he's not having that great of a game. I don't think you have to prioritize him. I think it's really this Ice Blast. As soon as you take it out, you're going to lose so much damage.
Quinn digging a water rune in the river, gets caught from the root from the Crystal Maiden, but the refresh from Caudle locks them down forever.
I mean, you can chain Frostbite. It's 3-second duration, it's a 6-second cooldown, and Keeper has Chakra Magic maxed out, so you just use it on Crystal Maiden, you have a second Frostbite.
That's a 6-second root. Wow.
Yeah, Ember, he lives on mobilities, and you just can't move for 6 seconds. Of course they're going to die.
That is a really nice find there from BetBoom. Unfortunate for Quinn, just the wrong time to, go fishing in the river.
No, if he was fishing, he could keep moving at the same time.
That's true. All right, smoke up here from Falcons, though. They got to do something, right? Like, we just finished up the BKB here on the Alchemist. That being said, the Radiance is also done on your Wraith King.
Dire's top tower.
They do see Katomi. He's going to channel the Concoction, stun up the Crystal Maiden. Should be a very easy kill. Finished off by Crit with a dead shot as they're looking for him on the backside, but they just don't find it. BetBoom, they're gone.
That's good positioning. Crystal Maiden, you lose the support. Oh well, that's okay. Everyone else got out. That is exactly what his job was, to break those type of plays. So everyone just immediately retreats.
It's been such a patient game from BetBoom. Once they got that like a little bit of early momentum in the lanes, they're just fine to split the map, get whatever pickoffs they can, but then just continue farming. Because the longer this goes on, I have a lot more faith in this tricore of BetBoom than I do in the side of Falcons. And I mean, it's already paying off right now. Bottom lane, Pure. Gonna get caught though. A roar countered in from Miero, but there's the Ravage from Amar. Alchemist is solo, he's just dead. The BKB does not protect him. Can they find another? It doesn't look like it, but that is a big commitment from Falcons, and they only get the reincarnation of the Wraith King.
It's a long cooldown, but losing an Alchemist is always very painful because of how early game this hero is. He's meant to be strong at that time, so every time you lose him, that's so much farming speed out the window, and you're missing your timing. And we got a nice replay here. He thought he could go in, he was going to farm all these skeletons, but Miero already down here. All the fast rotations we've been talking about that are possible thanks to this Keeper of the Light. Even if he is not directly recalling you into that given fight, you don't feel as bad all TPing to the same part of the map because you know he can get you around the rest to maintain map efficiency.
Yeah, they're just playing so quick, and this is just what we see with Save. He just pops one recall, is going to pop another. Actually gets canceled by the chains there, but they're going to look here for the Crystal Maiden. Dead in the water, out into the Ice Blast. They need a little bit more damage in from the Ember Spirit to finish this one off, but got to be careful. BetBoom starting to close in. All right, Crystal Maiden's dead. Wraithfire Blast on the mark. Quinn low, but will be able to get away this time. He will remnant to safety.
A little close.
A lot closer than I think we expected.
When we see the power of the Ice Blast, it is preventing the Illuminate heals, but that was, once again, just the Crystal Maiden who did deny the Amplify damage. Maybe an even trade there.
Are you saying Crystal Maiden's worth a power rune?
Dude, the Amplify damage is a good power rune. It's not a slight to Crystal Maiden, it's a compliment to the Amplify damage.
I see,
it's massive.
Very likely story.
Mm-hmm. Look, she's just getting recalled in anyways.
That's true. Yeah, she'll just be right back in the action.
Oh, he doesn't have it yet. Soon. The uptime is really good. I think that's going to get nerfed in the future. They're looking for a hero.
Ooh, that's a really good scan. Skitter immediately TPs out of danger. I don't know who did that, but they were very wise to what BetBoom was up to.
Yeah, they're going to look around. They saw the creeps moving in the camp, so they know someone was there. I think as soon as you realize no one is in this area, the TP has left. And that's, if you had the Caudle ult, you could continue. You can actually bring him bottom and just recall heroes in. It's still Oh, actually, it just got
Yeah,
used.
he
Maybe
just
they are gonna
popped
try
it. Yeah,
Okay.
they're going to start doing it once again here. Kato going for an early Aghanim Scepter as well. We've been seeing more of this. Like, right, it's been like the Holy Locket, and then you kind of like pick and choose into what you want to go from there. But Jurgen's an Ancient Apparition, so I like the idea of, you know, maybe focusing on some core items instead.
That's the Falcons headed mid. We still haven't really seen the huge team fight. We were expecting ice. I think that was like a scouting ice blast.
No, he walked right through a ward on the ledge there, and Snake King throws that ice blast. Just doesn't really connect though. It's such a hard target to kill.
I'm not even sure you could kill him because you need the Alchemist there to actually have the damage.
Yeah, Miro's got BKB. He is not an easy kill by any means. That being said, we've seen this one before. Crystal Maiden, dead in the water. Gonna pop the Frostbite for now, as Quinn gonna try and close the gap into the freezing field. A dead shot from Crit, though, will put an end to it, and just like this, they'll grab themselves another kill against Katomi.
Is Kataomi all the deaths? 3 of them.
3.
Pure died once.
I mean, to be fair, there's not a lot of deaths in this game from BetBoom. It is 4 kills for Falcons to the 7. Very low kill game.
Yeah, it's a much slower pace game than I was expecting. Like, usually you see the Keeper, and it's such a fast game, especially you look at the other heroes. You know, you had the Ember, the Alchemist. I mean, this is part of the issue. You know, you get 2 bulky heroes.
Oh.
No, should you feed that gold?
I don't know. I feel like Skitter is going to be happy for those critters to die here in a moment, but in comes Amar. The rest of the team from BetBoom going to try and back him up here as the heal's coming through from safe. Quinn, he's got his eyes on the sniper. That's a much bigger target. Do they have the Ravage and Ice Blast? They do, but you've lost Quinn. It's all on Skitter now. He takes down GPK. A 1-for-1 trade. The mid laners go down. I think it's hard to tell who actually comes out ahead in these fights.
I think that's at least a confidence boost for Falcons because you've been hunting around the map for so long and all you have found is this Crystal Maiden, so you finally get a core kill on the sniper, who's been sitting really far back in as many of these fights as possible. You finally close that gap, get a kill. You are going to lose Tormentor, though.
Yeah, second Tormentor, this one going to the side of BetBoom as it goes to the Crystal Maiden. She's very happy about that. Already has 1 root, now can have a second one to play with.
That's true, actually. This is so much root. Could Crystal clone, Frostbite, and then repeat both.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
He is working on a Manta on the Ember, so he can get out of 1 of those. Then there'll be 3 more.
Yeah, I'm sure inevitably it will be a BKB for Quinn.
I like BetBoom's approach. You know, Alchemist is a hero that drops off.
It is.
And they've tried to make plays. Several have been successful, but when you lose the sniper there, they don't feel pressured to do too much more. They grab the Tormentor, they just go back to farming.
Yeah, this is kind of a byproduct of just Alchemist in the game, right? Like, both these teams, we've seen them play a little bit more aggressive, but this is just really, like, if you're in BetBoom's shoes, like, you don't really need to play the game on, like, the way Falcons wants it played. You can kind of just do your own thing. As they're smoked up right now, a regen in the river. Save on the front line. That would be an amazing find if they can get it. The ward sentries get dropped immediately. Pure's onto the backside here. Stuns up Crit. Amar in some trouble, but we'll back away. For now, they take down the big one, the Ancient Apparition. That is no Ice Blast available as Muerta goes down as well. Alchemist has to pop the BKB and run. Amar's got no Ravage. In comes the Sniper as well. The Reincarnation will bring the Wraith King right back, full health, looking for another kill. They've done it. 3 dead on the side of Falcons. There's the first root. Quinn cannot handle the cold that is Katomi.
That's textbook fight. You find the Ancient Apparition. There's a little bit of good luck there that your ward immediately spots him, but as soon as they identify it, they drop the Assassinate to keep track of him. The Blink Roar comes in, and then they just all run in. They're not worried about dying as soon as the Ice Blast is out of the picture. Okay, Reincarnation, like, but that's not really dying.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing with, like, the Tricore, right, of BetBoom. When they are together, I think they're just infinitely stronger than Falcons right now because you don't have a lot of damage coming out from the Ember or the Tidehunter yet. It's almost all this Alchemist. So if you see him pop a BKB early, you just kite that out. You just wait and look for the other targets. Pop your own BKBs if you want. Like, their ease of execution in these fights is huge. And okay, Illuminate doing a lot of work there after the Ice Blast expires and the second Aegis into the hands of the Sniper this time. I think that's a great choice.
Yeah, I mean, now you can just have the sniper hit all the buildings. It's earlier than it actually usually is, thanks to the Beastmaster being able to do Roach so quickly, but the banner means you can drop it and just have sniper keep whittling down those towers, and these are 3 melee cores. Who feels comfortable walking up to deal with the banner?
Probably Amar. I mean, I just feel like that's something he would do. Like, he's just going to walk straight in, T-pose on them, and see what happens.
I don't know if Tidehunter can T-pose. I don't know if he's got that flexibility.
I mean, he can do the belly flop. That's like half a T-pose.
All right, you sold me. But I think he'll die for it. For the record, I don't think it's good for him to try. He's too slow. He's too slow at attacking.
Yeah. All right, there's the Mantis style for Quinn. Might make his life a little bit easier, but at the moment, BetBoom are so far ahead. It is a 10,000 gold advantage here as we approach 29 minutes, and you're into this Alchemist. Like, you just really don't have any real advantage that this hero is supposed to have.
Yeah. This is also a really sneaky play that you can do with Keeper. Usually, without rotations available, you would all sit behind whoever has Aegis, whoever's hitting the building, and the opponent's going to assume that. If they're smoked behind it, you have to assume they're behind Sniper, but they could be going for another play somewhere else and just recall the Sniper in. Oh, Wraith King's not there, we can take a fight. Nah, I mean, he could just be recalled in as well. So Falcons, if they don't have a bunch of wards on the map, it's very difficult to know where they can actually play.
Yeah, really nice Royale here from Miro. Will get the Axe refresh, and with the Illuminate, should be enough damage to finish the job. They do. So crit, sideline for 45, dead in the water to try and do something, but Pure is found Snake King once again, trying to get away from the boys. Amar, not even tanky, it seems, against this sniper. Oh my goodness, it is a disaster from Falcons. Falling on 3 more heroes, 5 to 15.
I mean, Falcons, they know they don't want to take a direct fight, so they're trying to split out the maps. That's what Crit was doing, and that's why the smoke was so successful. They find the support kill. Falcon still tries to take something out of that, but I love the focus on BetBoom from as soon as you see Ancient Apparition, someone get to him. I thought it was going to be Beastmaster with the Roar, but if you've already used that, now you've got the Blink Stun on Pure, the Wraith King, and Assassinate Assist from miles away.
Yeah, I mean, the Tidehunter pops the Kraken Shell active to reduce the damage, but there's so much magic damage coming out from Miro, as well as GPK. He's got a Mjolnir, right? So it just completely ignores this hero. And there's really no Kraken spell stacks, right? They have 5 kills. He hasn't built up any extra block on this at all.
Yeah, this... I feel like we keep seeing this happen with Alchemist.
Dude, okay, I
never has as good of a start as it used to.
I didn't want to lay too hard into the Alchemist pick, but this hero went 0-10 in the last event, so I am not very confident. So I was hoping maybe we would see something different here, but it feels exactly the same.
I mean, of course, it's not just the Alch.
Self-stun from the Alch, they just jump him instead! Goodbye, Skitter. Quinn in trouble. Very nice, says Pure. Oh man, that is about as bad as it could get.
That's going to be 2 barracks. The bottom is protected by the tier 2.
Do you back? Do you care to back?
That's true. I mean, even if you think he has buyback, he used his ultimate, right? So it's not that scary.
Okay, you get the reincarnation. Maybe you do actually back now. This was like the one thing that allows you to kind of sit on the high ground. The Aegis, you still got about a minute and a half with. So Coddle will start recalling his boys to the bottom lane to start pushing. Just good map pressure and awareness from Save once again. One of the reasons we see him love this Coddle.
I guess that was the idea, right? That maybe the Alchemist would hit his timings because he's going to farm all these skeletons, something you brought up earlier that we used to see in the past. But I think the other nerfs to Alchemist have just... he was never that far ahead of Beastmaster, you know? And I know Beastmaster's like a crazy hero, especially with all these amplifications from Keeper and Crystal Maiden, but Beastmaster scales into the late game better than an Alchemist does.
I mean, the change of the map really did change a lot, and that Ancient stack behind that top tier 1 being stolen significantly hampered his early game. And right now we're going to see Skitter jump in here, pop that concoction, try to get close to GPK, but just doesn't have the damage. He's forced the BKB and run. The Hurricane Pie completely shut down the initiation.
All right, he's not dead, but I feel like he was just poking and they almost killed him. Like, they didn't even commit that hard. Like, none of the big spells got used.
He's like, I guess I'll use Hurricane Pike, you know, if I have to. I mean, you're just so far behind. It's a 19,000 gold advantage, and I just don't see how you can initiate these fights on the side of Falcons. It has to be a massive Ravage into Ice Blast follow-up, and you need Skitters to have his ult and BKB available. Like, everything needs to align, and it's kind of on BetBoom to make that mistake, to give Falcons that opening. We haven't seen him do that.
It's also difficult because Ice Blast, the reason it's been so good is that it helps kill a certain target so quickly.
There it is, the Ravage into the Fear. The Ice Blast connects. GPK will pop the BKB, but Pure just gonna turn right around here. Try and force back the heroes. There's the Roar. It's found the Alchemist. He needs help and fast, but he will not get it. GPK snipes him down, looking for more as Crit forced back to the base. I mean, that was your best shot.
The Fountain calls.
Yeah, the Fountain does call all the Dota players. Snaking just burning to Pure here as Crit will be forced to pop the Pierce the Veil, and there it is, a GG. A little bit of a whimper here from Falcons, but an incredible clean game from BetBoom as they'll start the day off with a 1-0 advantage.
Bring enough heroes to actually kill him, and then it's doable because you play at so low health, you don't have a ton of items, but that is much easier said than done.
Yeah, they're actually looking for the Phantom Assassin, but there's a decent ward that will scout out the Beastmaster here, and now BetBoom will smoke themselves, and they will see the rest of Falcons kind of rotating back towards the mid lane, so I think they know exactly what is going on here.
Just to be clear,
I think the support duo, again, not to keep repeating that point, but we got the Shadow Demon and the Mirana, a classic combo, but the Shadow Demon has so much potential this game. You got the ultimate to remove the Tinker defense matrix, you have the save on Disruption. I think you really want Crit to have a good game here. It's going to start with just stacks. I don't think this is the strongest lane.
Disruption here in the bottom side, just to allow Amar to grab the rune and walk away. So a little bit of an even start this time around. Now, I will have to say, Amar's Bristleback set is hideous, but he does this intentionally, and it's so annoying.
It's a hideous hero. What can he do?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, he's on one of his all-time favorites, as he just alluded to in the all chat, having a little bit of fun here with BetBoom. But this is ultimate comfort here for Amar.
Yeah, and he's going to have a lot of stacks to work with. I mean, we saw how many Falcons had last game. For the Alchemist, sure. You can do the same thing for a Bristleback, a Beastmaster as well. He might need it versus the Huskar.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the Shadow Demon, historically one of the better stacking heroes. Needs to get to level 2 to have the Shadow Poison to do so. And that's actually going to be the Courier dead here. This bottom lane is really strong from the side of BetBoom. So not surprised to see Crit starting to drag the creep waves a little bit here. Maybe dodge out as much as they can.
Tinker is a surprisingly fast hero, though, I gotta say. I mean, Crit has Windlace, and he's still slower than Tinker. He's carrying a giant machine on his back. How does that even make sense?
Never skips leg day, I would imagine.
I guess so.
Snaking on his very comfortable Mirana. This has been a hero he has favored for quite some time.
Practically made it.
Yeah.
I feel like he is the Mirana guy.
I mean, there's not many other people that play Mirana 5. And if they did, they copied Snaking for it, right? Like, this guy is known for it. And then here is the scary mid lane. GPK here on the Huskar versus Quinn's Beastmaster. Now, Quinn, he has a lot of experience playing this hero, so obviously we'll see how he salvages this matchup as topside save getting very low, but does have a salve, will be fine. Get right back into fighting shape.
The Beastmaster doing okay so far. You do have the boars, so as long as you have the micro, you can start stacking for yourself relatively early. For now, I think he's okay. The Axe is allowing to keep his distance in the mid lane without being bullied too hard, but in a few more levels, that's where you often see Huskars just kick you out. Like, if you stay here, you will die. Yeah, so you have to get as much as you can right now.
Yeah, and the panel is right. Like, this is a hero that can fall back to farming the jungle. Like, absolutely, if he is feeling the pressure from the Huskar. And Huskar doesn't like to just be left in a dead lane. Like, he wants to be killing and putting pressure and slowing down his opponents. So it's a little bit of a... Oh, look at the micro from Quinn, actually dragging the wave here with his own boar just to dodge out GPK. Now, they will lose the range creep, but, I mean, exactly what you need to do.
Try to get it with the axes.
That's a good attempt. I mean, this is exactly the type of stuff that you can, do to try and salvage this matchup. But bottom lane, Amar falling very low. Blood Grenade is out. Even the laser committed as well. They are so close with a dagger. He has just accepted fate. Pure will grab first blood here on the Phantom Assassin.
3 times faster than the last game, which means we're ramping up to a much more fight-heavy game, perhaps.
Let's hope so. At least there's no Alchemist this time. In the top side here, Miro on this Kunkka. I feel like a pretty sturdy laner. He's really kind of, like, as a hero, we've seen Kunkka become a lot more dominant in the series that we've seen. So nice to see him kind of return to the meta.
I'm excited to see Shadow Demon again. He did get a series of nerfs in 7.38. It's just like across the board, you know, like 1 second off of his ultimate, his shard, damage on the early Shadow Poisons don't do as much. But it is, on paper, such a good Shadow Demon game.
Yeah, and that's something they highlighted, right? Like the ultimate against both of these supports is incredibly strong, and Katomi does have a huge wand charge there, so we'll be able to regen quite a bit. There's 4 poison stacks. There's number 5, baby. Crit will pop that Tinker.
Off to a good start. I've seen Crit have a very good game in the past because they liked picking it so much. 1, it was good. But 2, they liked the Mirana support so much, and that combo is so strong, the disruption into arrow. This game, well, Falcons in general, they love their tanky cores. So Disseminate is actually really good because you're just splitting so much damage amongst the enemy team. It's like a blade mail for free when they only pick strength cores.
Oh, we've seen this one before. Amar dead to another dagger here. And Skatomi rejoins the lane. And I mean, this is seemingly the most action-packed lane at the moment. Not surprising, right?
Yeah, it is. I feel like a lot of damage needs to come from Amar. He often plays like a carry, and that's the style that Bristleback with Seeing Red goes for. But the counter matchup into the PA can be tricky because she does get a break pretty easily. It does percent HP damage. You can eventually not care because you get like a Sanj and Yasha, you have status resistance, so you reduce the break. But if Pure has too good of a start because he keeps getting kills, then maybe you don't make it to that point, and maybe he just keeps deleting you. And that feels like what happened last game. It was a little bit slow to start, but eventually they just didn't have the damage on Falcons.
Well, they're trying to find some kills around the map. Mid lane, GPK in some trouble. They bring the numbers on Falcons, but it's not going to be enough to get away. Nicely done, punishing this Huskar. And this is how you have to handle this, right? Just leave the Huskar alone on the Beastmaster, go do your own thing, and then just bring the rest of your heroes in. You know, that'll work.
Yeah, you have to try to punish it to save the lane. And I mean, look at his CS on Quinn. It was a smart decision to bring him here. This is not that bad. I know Huskar has a lot of denies, but usually we see the mid hero kind of where that Shadow Demon is. You know, you have like 10 last hits at like 6 minutes into the game, and it's brutal.
He's up in net worth. You can't ask for a better start here against the Huskar. And now it's kind of the pressure's on GPK to try and get something done with this hero, right? This is a last pick Huskar. You need to build momentum out of this hero. And, well, that's a lot of stacks, most likely going to the Kunkka, though.
I imagine so. There's not as many stacks from Falcons this time. Amar, though, might be falling here.
He is really struggling in this bottom lane. The Tinker and this Phantom Assassin doing so much work. So that's a 3rd death for him.
Orb of Corrosion is such a strong item for Phantom Assassin. You can just poke with it on the dagger to get more value out of that, but when you do commit, it helps her do so much extra damage.
Great combos in the top lane here from these two. I mean, that's the thing, right? PA, sometimes you skip the Orb of Corrosion if you're not in a great lane, if you can't really fight the enemy off laner. You just rush your Battle Fury, but clearly against Amar's Bristleback, they're feeling way better about actually being able to kill him in this lane stage. So picking up those early items makes a huge difference, and now we're going to see a big wraparound topside Pure in through the Twin Gate. There's the Fear out from the Ringmaster, and Skitter on the run. The X, the pullback, though, you are not escaping. Another big kill here for BetBoom is they're going to try and TP in on Snake King. He arrows, he misses the catapult into a perfectly placed torrent from Miro, and they will get another kill. Now that is a reasonable tip from Miro on that one.
He was willing to die there if you can at least kill the catapult, because I think that does keep your tower alive.
Oh no, don't show it again.
Close your eyes, everybody. Don't look.
It hurts. I mean, he knew he had to try and make it as quick as possible, but yeah, that just slightly off the mark.
Catapult. I mean, it sidestepped at the last second.
It put its movement shoes on for sure. Just drifted right around it.
Radiant are scanning.
I mean, it's scary when you see a Phantom Assassin at the top of the net worth 4,400. I feel like that was what Alchemist was last game, and that's an Alchemist. This is the PA who just has 3 kills, 2 assists, and helped take down a tower.
Bold of you to assume the Alchemist even had that much net worth last game.
That's true. I don't remember. I don't have a memory.
Oh, of course. Never mind. I thought these stacks would be for the Kunkka, but Tinker. This is going to be mostly Katomi and Tinker cleaning these up a lot of the gold and XP to boost these heroes here in the net worth.
You know, Defense Matrix is going to be countered by the Shadow Demon's ultimate. So is Escape Act, actually. So 2 saves technically taken out. But if your Tinker is just really rich and just brings a bunch of heals, and you can get auras that aren't dispelled by the Purge, that's kind of a way to work around it. You know, you're healing everyone on your team, and Shadow Demon can only target one hero, at least until way later in the game.
Yeah, I've been seeing some supports. I think it's particularly been like 9 class that we've seen play a little bit more of aggressive Tinker, going for like an early Aghanim Shard and then eventually the Aghanim Scepter with a Blink. And he's playing it as just a legitimate core from the support position. So maybe because of, you know, the counter from the Shadow Demon, you kind of consider that as an option this game. But for now, Falcons definitely a little bit on the back foot, trying to get towards their first set of items. You just, everywhere you look on the map, there are so many stacks being made. Katomi now higher level than his own carry.
Good. PA players, man.
Yeah, it's true. I'm kind of sick of Phantom Assassin. This is one of those heroes that if you're a support, you kind of have dealt with it for quite a while now.
Crit coming to scout out stacks. Unfortunately, he's going to see most of them are down, and in fact, he is dead here.
He's the one scouted instead. Very nice rune here. Plays going for the disruption. The TP, they don't have the damage. Okay. He makes it out. And he will know about a ward now. He's very aware that there's something there.
Oh, they actually think he warded, but he was actually just there. He was like, no, I'm in the wrong place.
So for the side of Falcons, like, we know that like there's this Huskar mid. You're not actually super terrified of the moment. He's kind of just at a middle ground in terms of the net worth. But you have this Beastmaster in the mid lane. I feel like we're going to be seeing him try to get aggressive early.
Yeah, we got kind of distracted by the Phantom Assassin, but the Huskar has not popped off in the way we were expecting. I think the Beastmaster mid plus that heavy rotation really paid off for Falcons. I don't think you count him out quite yet. Huskars are not the same as in the past. You would get Armlet and just win. You know, you go Roche, go take all the towers. It's actually slower now. You usually finish at least 1 more item, if not 2, and then you start to ramp up and play off of that kind of 3 to 4 item timing. So I don't want to say, you know, he's completely missed the window, but you're not usually at the bottom 6th on net worth at this point in the game. Maybe you can't Huskar the Huskar Masters.
I'm telling you, man, these guys know this hero in and out. But so far, I mean, if you're BetBoom, I don't think you're upset with how the game is going. Your Tinker is getting a lot out of the map. That being said, Shadow Demon, because of the amount of stacks he's been able to make as well, is not too far behind either. Miro, top side, maybe thinking about trying to find him here on the Kunkka, but he is really fast with those phase boots. We'll see, though. Crit trying to close the gap, gets the vision. Disruption just barely out of range.
See him raising his hand, starting to disrupt.
Yeah, Snake King might try and cut him off here. But yeah, there's just no one else coming anytime soon. He knows someone's on top of him. He's like, oh yeah, there was the Lotus.
Oh, you get the Lotus for your efforts. But that was the Mirana ult. And similar to last game, we saw Falcons try to make plays and just not be able to connect on them. That's one of your first attempts with the Invis, and you don't even find the offlane Kunkka, who is practically at the tier 2.
It's a big cooldown, man. 2 minutes without it. So they're going to just smoke up instead and try and find another objective. This time, BetBoom actually grouped up towards the mid lane. Power Rune's going to spawn bottom. Quinn, no real way to contest this with the Huskar walking up, so he will have to give up that Arcane. The lines are being drawn. They kind of have an idea of where they are. They see the Ringmaster, I believe, yep, on the Watcher. Any kill is worth it. There's the blink reveal from Skitter into the arrow, and finally, a little bit more action here coming out from Falcons. They grab themselves a very worthwhile kill, and this is something that we love to see with Mirana, right? Anytime you have this hero, you need someone to set it up, and Skitter going for the early blink dagger, I think will help them build this momentum.
Yeah, Shadow Demon's a great combo, but you don't want only one combo. So like you said, Dragon Knight would be good. The Roar is also a nice setup. So if any of those heroes are missing, any combination, that could be a kill. But you can't, you know, oh, one hero's missing, we have to all sit in our base. That's really annoying. But if it is just one hero, like Shadow Demon, you can set it up. As soon as Shadow Demon's missing, then you can be careful.
All right. I feel like we're in a very similar position as last game. Both teams just kind of content farming it up. Only 5-3. We had first blood at 3 minutes, but after that, it's been a very patient game from both teams.
It's It's not as extreme as last game, but I would still favor BetBoom's lineup the later it goes. I know Huskar is not usually someone who scales really far in, but I think PA has a lot of good matchups here, and this is a Tinker support who essentially becomes Tinker core the longer the game goes.
Yeah, very fast Battle Fury. And like that's the average, which some games you don't even see the Orb of Corrosion being built. So if you factor that in, this is a very fast Battle Fury with these other items. Which bottom lane, GPK, he's actually gonna go ahead and just pop the ult here, get on top of Amar, but he's very tanky. Has that Blade Mail available, reflecting tons of damage back the other way, but crit found on the side. Falcons will lose one as they now look to maybe pressure the tier 1 tower here.
Radiant's middle tower is under
They were hoping to get a couple more kills so they could steal the Wisdom Rune. They're not going to be able to do that, but they will get themselves the tower. Maybe a little faster than expected. I don't know if they want to stick around here for the Tormentor and have to wait for a minute.
Dire's bottom
Oh,
tower
Pure doesn't
is
want to.
falling.
Pure's like, I got farm elsewhere on the map. I don't know about you guys. I mean, to be fair, you could probably take Tormentor with Huskar +2. So if they decide to stick around, they might be able to get it. But then Falcons can contest, and it gets a little bit scary. We'll see what they end up doing with it, but
It is a nice thing about the Tinker, right? You didn't all have to sit there as 4. They actually bring the PA out, Tinker goes mid, he's going to go back bottom. He's going to help with that Tormentor, so it's actually not as inefficient as I thought.
I mean, they are looking for a rotation here. They're looking for Pure. There's the Roar, but he's got a Defense Matrix absorbing some of the damage, but there's the Dispel from Crit. They just are too afraid to commit. The TPs are coming in, and now Quinn in trouble. Feelered into the Wheel of Wonder. Disruption from Crit again. Very nicely done, but can Quinn actually get out of here just surrounded by the side of BetBoom? Another big kill and another big casualty for the side of Falcons.
Fast moves from BetBoom. Last game we expected it with the Keeper of the Light. This time, just being quick on the map. As soon as you see them coming in, you're reacting in time. And it's very fortunate Tinker was... see Roshan toss some heroes. Very fortunate Tinker was right behind the PA, give him a jump target. Otherwise, maybe you at least get the PA kill and then maybe lose the Beastmaster.
I mean, we're starting to see this Phantom Assassin become a serious issue, but it's the Tinker as well, right? Like the Holy Locket doing so much healing already. Bottom lane, Amar will get found here by this ward. X into the Torrent. In comes GPK, the rest of the team as well. There's the Blade Mail. Will return a lot of the arrow actually catching the Huskar, but there's just not enough damage, just walking it off, and now, well, Snaking doesn't even get to finish the TP. 2 more kills for the side of BetBoom. And now Tormentor, easy pickings here for them.
I'm having some deja vu there. I think that's the 5th time that's happened. Once he got out with Disseminate Blade Mail, but the other 4 times have been a successful kill. Now they'll get the Tormentor. Finally, a meaningful gold lead for BetBoom at 4K. I gotta say, impressive on Falcons. They've kind of been down on kills, but mostly keeping up in farm. Now is the start of the struggles.
I mean, look at Tinker's net worth, man. He's neck and neck with all of the cores. They do get Roche, so this is a pretty common trade, right, when you have something like a Beastmaster. So very heads-up rotation from Falcons. Salvaging something in kind of a rough situation here. The Aegis will protect Quinn for, a few minutes here. And it could turn a fight. Like, that's the thing, right? One big fight is really all Falcons need to kind of, like, pull this gold lead back to even.
It allows you to play a lot more aggressively once you have that Aegis. And I think you really gotta find something going your way. They have not made very many successful moves in this series, not even just this game.
Yeah, Blink Dagger actually picked up here from Crit, so the support's also looking to play aggressive as well. Quinn sitting on the high ground here, will walk right into a ward, but they have not scouted anybody else. Miro, there they will. They'll see the Kunkka now and back away.
I don't think you need to engage if you can just avoid this Aegis timing. You're farming up. You're happy with your Phantom Assassin getting space.
All right, this is a big ult in from the Mirana. There's the Roar out from Quinn. He's going to try and find the kill here. The arrow connects. Do they have the damage to finish the job? GPK is down. Now looking for Katomi. There's the Blink, the Dragon Tail. A nice Wheel of Wonder and escape back to bail him out. But Amar ready to close the gap onto the backside, and there they do. Chasing 4 more, 2 dead, but that will do it for now. The arrow, not gonna connect, but a good find here from the side of Falcons.
Great Roar, finally finding something for themselves. Maybe you're gonna be able to convert it to more.
He's in pretty deep, but they've got the purge from Crit and Miro. Not tanky enough, another kill. Falcons turning it up with this Aegis, feeling the power of this Tricore.
instantly 4,000 gold gain for Falcons there. I thought they were about to start slowly falling behind, but
it seems we have found our NA team here at
they are our NA team.
All right. Showing some signs of life, thankfully, because it was looking a little rough after game one, but Falcons showing that they are definitely not out of this one quite yet. Score 6-9. Very nice.
You can never count Falcons out. They play to the end. They are a very good team at trying to orchestrate fights that will go their way. It's not always easy, and we see BetBoom is doing a great job avoiding a lot of them, but like you said, Falcons not going to go quietly.
And with this, like, you still have 2.5 minutes left on this Aegis. I think that's the big thing. You've actually recovered 5,000 gold advantage during this timing already, and there is still a lot more that you can accomplish. The BKB going to be done for Quinn here in, relatively soon, actually, under 1,000 gold.
If you can finish it before the amplified damage is automatically used in the bottle, I mean, you'd be really strong around that.
I feel like he might have been able to, but they just gave all those stacks to Amar, so it's hard to tell. But this is where the Huskar starts to feel a little bit underwhelming, right? Where in this situation, he's still pretty far behind on net worth, but he doesn't, it's similar to the Alchemist of last game, right? So we'll see what he can do. Top lane Skitter, as well as the rest of Falcons, they're looking for something, might just settle for a very quick tower kill.
These towers fall so quickly. You've got the Corrosive Dragon giving some negative armor.
Whoop. Save with the Whoopee Cushion, trying to make some distance, but he's got Crit right behind him. There's the Demonic Purge. No escape back for you and Amar. A very easy kill for the Bristleback.
Getting some revenge finally in this
bottom
lane.
Right. There was some animosity after last game in that kill.
Credit to the stacks being made, though. Despite the 4 deaths on that Bristleback, his net worth, he's still third. He's had so much space, so much farm given over to him. And I think it's necessary. They often play this way around Amar. He is this carry off-lane player.
Radiant's bottom tower.
I like that he's going for an early shard as well. Like, playing around the double goo stack is very strong. Mid lane, Quinn. He's got the Aegis. He's got his supports behind him. They've got the Warp Flare to try and root him in place. Arrow's going to be dodged from Pure. So they will get the first life out of this Aegis. We'll see if they can actually bring him down a second time. There's the Wheel of Wonder. Crit has the save, surely. No, he gets taunted on the backside. There's no save, and now looking for more. The blink out will be able to get Crit for the moment, but Amar in some trouble. A second fear, and just like that, a Warp Flare pulls him back in. 2 deaths, and now potentially more as GPK claims another.
Yeah, that tip to save is very well deserved. That is such a good Wheel of Wonder placement. I think a lot of players would just drop it a little bit in front of where that Aegis spawn is, but he knows Shadow Demon wants to save, so he places it beyond the Aegis respawn and fears him into it, and that is what catches the backline as they try to help him right there. So like you mentioned, Crit wanted to go in for that save, and instead they both get caught and they both follow up the combo. He's got to save himself, but it doesn't really last for long. Even though he gets the blink out for a little bit, GBK eventually runs him down.
Yeah, that is why people are very afraid to give this guy the Ringmaster. There's so many like kind of specific little interactions that you can account for, but that is just absolute perfect placement. You could not have asked for a better situation there.
Save is so good at all these technical heroes where the placement of your abilities matters a lot. That's why he's played so much Muerta, Keeper of the Light, the Ringmaster here. You can always trust him to land the spells.
Snaking no TB for about 20 seconds. I mean, I'm not sure if they're aware, but he is just going to hide in the trees, kind of wait this one out. He'll be fine, I'm sure. No one else can really, no one really cares to come find him at this point.
He's appreciating. He's inside, but he wants to appreciate North Carolina.
I was like, he's role-playing in Raleigh.
Weather,
yeah.
Beautiful trees, like I'll be in the trees here.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They even look like pine trees to some degree.
It's true. Not enough acorns, hoodwink not good enough.
Yeah, the pine cones.
Yeah, we do have pine cones, that's close. Smoke up here from BetBoom, gonna look for their next target. Now Quinn does have his BKB this time around, but Pure has one of his own. Dude, he is so farmed. Crit, this would be a great start. They're gonna be able to try and get the disruption save, but that is a lot of damage real fast. Pure quickly slicing down Crit as Quinn, at least invis for the moment, trying to hide right now as he makes his way across the river. And it's gonna work.
As soon as you lose the Shadow Demon, you don't want to fight. I think Crit is essential to any successful team fight. You need so much from him. The Disseminate to get extra damage in. You need the Demonic Purge to remove the saves. The Disruption to break up BetBoom's combos. If he's out of the picture, you just have to back out. Unless you walk right into the high ground.
That's a big arrow connects, but Pure's got the BKB. He's going to turn around looking for Snake King and gets the leap away for now. Amar slowed up by the wheel as well, but just pulled right back in. Now Katomi has to get away from this Dragon Knight. Escape back will buy him a little bit of time. But do they have the catch? He's going to try and TP out. He's going to make it. BetBoom escape completely.
We see, you know, the Phantom Assassin usually would die in those kind of situations, but she does have the Sange and Yasha, so it's reducing any of the stuns thanks to that status resistance. Gives her enough time to BKB and jump on out of there.
Ooh, they might have found some more heroes. Miro, a nice find. They got to kill save first. There's the Dragon Tail. The Goo's going to be able to spread to the other side. Demonic Purge on the money. Can they stop the TP out? Yes. Disruption is there. Katomi coming in to try and help. Can Miro survive the Blade Mail? Buy him a lot of time here, but the Disseminate damage, it's overwhelming. And now the Tinker, he's helped a little bit too much, trying to make his way back into the base. Another Dragon Tail is out. Quinn comes in with the axes, chops them down. 3 dead as Falcons find another opening here in this game.
For most of this series, BetBoom has been really good about dodging Falcons' play, but that time they scattered. I think they thought, you know, this is just time to farm. Well, Falcons use some of their abilities, maybe they're going to farm too, but they were wrong. Falcons just run in, find 3 kills, find a bottom tower. If they're lucky, Roche spawns soon, and maybe they even get Roche off of this.
Yeah, that is a big objective for them once again. We saw what they accomplished with the first Roche on Aegis. Second would give them the banner as well. A little bit more map to play around, but you've got to deal with Pure soon. And this is where things are going to get difficult. He's level 18, on his way towards a Basher. And he did pick up the Shard. So we do have the break available here for the Bristleback. So Fan of Knives, a great option here.
Radiant are scanning.
I love the build Amar's going to this game.
Yeah.
In the past, especially if you wanted to be this more carry type of Bristle, we would see the Ags rush. But he knows how he wants to address the Phantom Assassin as the counter pick. So he's got the Sange and Yasha for the status resistance. He's buying a lot of extra armor in the Blade Mail and the Lotus. And eventually, I'm sure he'll go back for the Ags to deal with Escape Act and to just do damage in general. But this way, he has a consistent game from early to mid to late game. Crit, gonna found here, fast blink out.
Very quick reactions.
It's scary in the night.
I mean, that was the smoke gank. That just doesn't connect onto anything. Now, Quinn is pretty far on the other side of the map, cutting the wave. The question is if they want to make that trek across the river to find him. For now, they'll get the D ward, and that should be the end of that smoke.
I think it's the Lotus finished up as well on Amar?
I think so. It's close at least. I mean, 100 gold away from Lotus, right? So he's sending the courier over to the secret shop. He should be able to pick that up. Pure? Oh, doesn't see the courier.
Didn't quite see it. Where is it going? It's on an adventure. Does he manually get to the secret shop? That's crazy.
Radiant's top tower.
This game, I feel like, is... I mean, luckily it's a lot closer than last game. We haven't really seen much out of the Huskar, but you can still see, like, BetBoom's strength complements it well. So they're going to be the ones trying to pressure the Roshan. Now, the smoke does come in from Falcons right away. They've got to contest this. Now, can you find save at the beginning? That would be a great target. Miro getting it all scouted out here from the boar. Amar wants to run in, but this Roche, it's falling and fast. They got it into the hands of GPK. Skinner goes in, does find the Ringmaster, but the rest of BetBoom will force him away. Pulled back from the X. Quinn will pop the BKB, try to do what he can here onto the Phantom Assassin, but they just don't have the damage. Pure still surviving perfect and healthy, and now on the backside of the fight, it's going to be GPK on the Huskar. He committed a little bit too far. Aegis is down. But BetBoom still looks like they want to fight. Great arrow, though, from Snake King. Might slow down this chase. You trade Aegis for the Shadow Demon. I mean, taking it away from Falcons, I think, is probably the big win, though.
That's true. You definitely wanted to hold on to the Aegis a little longer than that. But, I mean, not every fight's going to go perfectly. These are messy fights. Both teams looking to deal with the saves, find the right targets. Like we see Phantom Assassin there. I think she got roared, but they don't have Bristleback nearby, so they didn't have enough damage to actually kill her.
Uh-oh, Skidder gonna get found here by the whole side of BetBoom as there they go. Pulls him right back in with the X, and that will be 65 seconds without your Dragonite. And Katomi, he's still hunting, looking for others. Ooh, no warp flare. Snake King will make it out.
There we go, the Pine Cones.
And that will be level 20 for Pure as he takes the Wisdom Shrine. That's a big talent.
I feel like if GPK had a better game, I think they were planning to play around him a little bit more. But based off the start he had, based on how Phantom Assassin had such a good start, they've pivoted over, let Pure farm up. He will carry us as he has many times in the past. They trust this guy, and he's going to trust them to save him as necessary with the Escape Act, all the items being built by this very farm Tinker. He's doing his best to catch up to Kunkka and Huskar quickly.
This Basher is going to do so much work. I mean, you have very tanky cores on the side of Falcons, but PA wins these like 1v1 fights if she doesn't get kited out. And now she can really just lock them down with that bonus attack speed from that 20 talent. As we're going to see an Aghanim Scepter for Kunkka. Not something we actually see that often. We've been seeing a lot of Blade Mail Radiance, stuff like that, but he's gotten the Blade Mail, the Pipe, just build a lot of auras to help keep his team alive. He's got the Tidebringer Shard, which he just grabbed from the Tormentor, and it will be Ags coming out relatively soon. So a lot more damage that he can bring into the fights, I think, in general, which is nice.
I think you're also more likely to actually just hit the ability when there's this disruption save that could come out. Perhaps it ends and the second boat connects, or maybe the first boat misses Pure, the second boat does touch on him, and that could keep him alive. Because like you said, in these longer fights, the Phantom Assassin should be able to kill these heroes, at least in the direct one-on-ones. But if you can focus her down, she'll die. The issue is all these saves, and that's why some of these fights have been very messy, and it really depends on who finds who. If you can get the saves for either team out of the picture, either find crit on Falcons or find this Tinker, find this Ringmaster, then the fight becomes a lot more straightforward.
We're going to see Falcons try and group up here. I mean, I feel like they've got an opening. Crit finished his Aghanim Scepter actually in that last fight. That's why I think they went for that play onto the Phantom Assassin with the Roar. But they just didn't have the follow-up damage. So we're going to see them try and make maybe a second attempt here.
They're headed bottom, though. No one's here. Maybe looking for the Tinker.
I mean, finding Tinker is always nice, but it's just so difficult. Yeah, he just clears the waves, TP's out. They'll just kind of sit behind Amar here.
They have successfully taken some towers from earlier, so it is limiting Tinker's map a bit. The more towers you can keep up, the easier it is to play Tinker. He's down to his last 2.
All right, jumps are popped. They gotta find something. GPK would be an amazing target. There's the Dragon Tail, the Roar to follow, the arrow on the mark, down to a sliver of HP. They finish the job. Now Miro on the run, tries to TP out. There's the banishment. Crits found him. 2 huge kills here for Falcons, as now with Miro's sideline, well, we'll see what they can do with this. 50 seconds, neither of these cores available.
BetBoom did not expect Falcons to run up that far. Their positioning was not ready for that at all. The fact that you could do the whole combo onto Huskar and neither the boat nor the Escape Act could even come into play.
That was a big rotation. This is unfortunately scouted there for Falcons as they just popped that ult right next to a ward. So BetBoom going to be a little bit careful about their positioning on the map at the moment.
They've got to. I mean, we were complimenting them a lot in the first game about dodging out the fights from Falcons, but as time has gone on, Falcons is mixing things up. They're managing to find the right targets, and it's keeping this game very close. I think I still favor PA the further on we go, PA and Tinker. But there is very much a window where Falcons finds a fight like they have been, and they're in front of your base, and these cores will destroy your building so quickly that you could then end up on the back foot where you've lost several barracks, you're stuck in your base.
Invisibility.
We're pretty much back to dead even here. Falcons still feeling, I feel like they are the ones that can play a little bit more aggressive right now. This Aghanim Scepter on Crit is doing a lot of work, but it really just comes down to the initiation of which heroes you find.
Having 2 Demonic Purges helps a lot. You see why you need 2 Demonic Purges right there.
God, that hero is something else. But they're keeping a lot of pressure on the lanes here, and you kind of need to, right? Roche is going to be spawning relatively soon. It's a big objective for them.
Something that's happened in a couple of the fights, Kunkka's boat has not connected in time.
Yeah.
I think it's actually, it goes a long way to keeping his teammates alive, especially the purge, removing a lot of the saves from the supports. The boat buff is not purged, as far as I know. I'll double check.
I don't think so. I don't think it's dispelled.
Cannot be dispelled.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important to save a very high regen hero like Huskar, right? If he doesn't die, he heals so much. So you have to do a lot of effective damage into him through the resistances, through the damage reduction, or damage delay, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, we'll see. Both teams are just kind of biding their time, really. Like, they're outside of those 2 kills top. Falcons just kind of sweeping back and forth between the mid and the off lane to try and keep these lanes pushed in. Amar looking through the trees here. Not going to find anything, though. As the 34-minute power rune, it's a regen. Not really the best one you'd hope for, but bottle that up here on Quinn's Beastmaster.
I mean, it could matter in one of these fights. You pop it as the disruption comes out, and you're just healing up. When you pop out, you kind of get a little bit more health. Maybe you can turn a fight.
I'd hope so.
Who even needs a shard at this point? Oh no, they're going through the other side.
I would like, okay, here we go. I would like one of these teams to start looking for a kill here. Break into the mid lane. Amar actually falling very low for now, but with the slows, OK still has that BKB at the ready. Will be forced to pop it. In comes Huskar as well. They're going to TP. They know they cannot afford to lose this. And here comes the Dragonite. Dragentail is out, but a lot of saves coming through. There's the break-in, though, from Crit. The boat doing a little bit of work, but who's going to be able to stand their ground? The longest getter on the run. GPK dives in very far. Another disruption to buy him some space, but Quinn, he's got to be careful. A big torrent catches, too.
This is right in front of the enemy base as well. They have a creep wave here. You can get a lot of tower damage in, and there's only one buyback, and it's on a Dragonite who's not even good without his ultimate. I think that's the gem recovered or stolen as well.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, this Shadow Demon has to TP first there because of the extended TP durations. If he goes in first and disrupts, I think it buys enough time for everyone to show up, and then you can take a more cohesive fight with all the teammates together. But that ended up being a bit of a one-on-one as Bristle dies.
This is a scenario where BetBoom are going to take the tower and go tier 4s, and that's exactly what they do. They're going to just try and force Falcons' hand, call the bluff. Do they have buybacks or not? There is a fortification available. But what
be close?
Yeah, I mean, what can you do as just the supports here? BetBoom want to close this game off of one fight. We waited so long, please.
I think you're going to have time for one more fight here.
Disruption to dog the edge. Nicely done, but Snake King still not super impactful at the moment. Walks in, tries to pull the attention, leaps away. They get on top of the Bristleback. They fear him away. The throne is dying. BetBoom just want to force this game and make it done, but there's going to be the break onto Pure. Tries to run away, but they just don't have the damage to follow this up. The rest of the heroes in comes Quinn. He gets Sans. He gets pulled in as well. Nice disruption, though, from Crit to buy him a moment to get back into this fight. There's the roar. Can they bring down the Phantom Assassin? It's going to be close. Pure gets the Blink Strike out, and GPK will be the one to sacrifice himself to the Falcons. Miro trying to TP out. Do they have the well, I don't even know what cancel. Maybe he canceled himself. They want to turn around here on BetBoom. Instead, they get on top of Crit and they get the kill. BetBoom want to end this game here and now.
They're still looking.
A 4v5.
I think you back out. This is so tense.
Dude, I think they're going to go for it. There's no roar. There's no BKBs. Phantom Assassin is absolutely the strongest hero here, and you have this Tinker who can keep resetting. They're just waiting for Kunkka to rejoin them in the mid lane. This would be an absolute insane call if they go for it, and they're going to trying to do what damage they can to chip down these heroes on Falcons, opening up this throne. There's still a fortification available now for Falcons, but do they have the damage? They're going to make an attempt here. There's going to be the buyback in from Crit. The roar actually finds GPK. They got the purge. He's dead. Die backing now on this hero, but can they end this? Miro trying to bring down the throne. Taunt here will catch Snake King. Pure into a really big torrent. The throne, it's low, but it's not dead quite yet. Can you knock Falcons out of this event? They're gonna try, but Pure bumps the straight
He has a Deso.
It's doing so much work into the Abyssal. Down goes Quinn once again. There's the fortification mural. He's dead. It's a fight till the end, but who's gonna come out ahead? Pure stands his ground. He ends it. Falcons are out 2-0. BetBoom, do it.
Holy shit, I can't believe they bought a Deso to end that.
I don't even understand what we just witnessed. Falcons, a patient game, but BetBoom will not give it to them at all. They know how strong he was on this Phantom Assassin. They buy back on 2 heroes, and they walk away the victors. I cannot believe that just happened.
That is such a tough call to make. We actually see how close that was. They were moments away from holding that, and then suddenly you have